So we're still here because we know all about that. This is a lovely slide that I spent hours on. I hope you enjoy it. Ta-da. What is this? Like, it's a picture, Renee. You're supposed to tell us. What is this? Anybody? These are people advocating for change. This woman right here is me, 20 pounds heavier. This woman right here is Deborah Parker, Tulalip tribal member, former council member for the Tulalip tribes. Deborah Parker and I took one another as sisters. In our culture, that has great meaning. That means forever. If she needs me, she can call me. If I need her, I can call her. She's my sister. Why is Deborah Parker important? Anybody? Who's heard of Deborah Parker? Okay, you need to ask yourself, why haven't I heard of Deborah Parker? Who's heard of the Violence Against Women Act? The amendment, which just passed within the last few years, what was that about? Anybody? Nobody. You guys are hurting my heart. Not kidding.
Native women.
Yes, it's about Native women. In our culture, Native women are raped or sexually assaulted at an astronomical rate. The next closest group to Native women are college-age women. So I challenge all of you men. I would like the men to stand up. All the men, stand up for me, please. All of you. I challenge you to protect the women in your community. I challenge you to be advocates for change in your community. I challenge you to be warriors, to stand up so women can come to you and know if they're in danger, they can count on you. I challenge you, each and every one of you. You take this challenge with you. I challenge you to be that person. Someone can say, hey, I need someone to walk me home. Thank you. I need someone to stay with me because I had too much to drink. I need someone to protect me because someone's threatening me. I need someone to help me. I need someone to talk to. I need someone to hug me. I need someone to be my friend. I need someone to advocate for safety for my sister and myself. I need someone to care. Each and every one of you, each and every man in this room, be that man. Be my brother. Thank you. Please sit down.
Challenge most heartily accepted.
Yes. Yes. I want to shake your hand. I want to shake your hand. You come here. You give me a hug. Heart to heart.
I most wholeheartedly accept your challenge. I will be that warrior.
Yes. That's what you can do. You can be that warrior. It's not women going, oh, hey, my skirt's too short. I wore a short skirt today on purpose because it matched the rest of my outfit. Not because I wanted to walk down the street and go, excuse me, I got 5 minutes. Anybody want to rape me? Right? We don't do that. Who does that? It's not my fault that you can't control yourself. That's crazy, right? It's absolutely insane. We need to train our men to respect our women. That's your challenge. Each and every one of you, go back to your community. Make it better. Make it safer. Make it safer for your daughters. Make it safer for your sisters. Make it safer for your friends. That's what Deborah Parker did. When the Violence Against Women Amendment Act was up, she was told by Maria Cantwell, it's dead in the water. There's no face to it. Nobody will vote for it. We can't protect your Native women. The problem we have is that people could come on our reservations, they could rape our women and our children, and they would get away with it. We couldn't arrest them. We couldn't protect our women. We couldn't protect our children. And the Amendment Act allowed us to arrest them and press charges against them. And look how many years it took for that to happen. This was an Idle No More protest at the Tulalip Outlet Mall. It was awesome. We were like, hey, see that FBI guy up there on the roof? We knew where they were. We could see them. So there are also problems with coal in that area. They're like, no coal in our communities, okay? And I love the myth of it's clean coal. Right. Come on. Has anybody ever seen coal, really? This is inside the teepee that was put up for a meeting for my grandfather. He passed away a year ago, April, my Num Shim. He gave me more gifts than I can possibly share with you in a lifetime. He loved me, he respected me, he gave me strength, he gave me songs, he gave me prayers, he gave me words, he gave me passion, he gave me inspiration. I hope you have someone like that in your life. I was recently traveling to Montana. I had loaned a horse trailer to a friend of mine 10 years ago. That's taken Indian time to a whole new level. And then when I got to where it was supposed to be, it wasn't there. So I'm calling everybody, and there's no signal. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Montana. Take a left, drive another 30 miles. That's where I was. So I took this photo because this beautiful water tower was behind it, and I thought, it so epitomizes our communities. We've lost so much, and it's so hard for us to break over those barriers. When I attended grad school here at Oregon State, I encountered barriers. I was actually dropped from my program. I don't know if you know that. By the chair of my department. All I had left was to defend my thesis. I had struggled. My son had severe depression as a teen. And I was here in grad school. And so I was struggling to keep him alive. He made several suicide attempts. One of them, he stepped in front of an 18-wheeler who, thank God, was paying attention. He took a drug overdose. He tried to hang himself. Those are just the ones I know about. He tried to play football for Crescent Valley High School. They told him he couldn't play football for him unless he cut his hair. You have to cut your hair if you want to play football for us. I said, son, what do you want to do? It's your decision. I respect your decision. He goes, I think I'll go out for soccer. And he did, and he was great. And his power inspires me. This is our ceremony. Our new year falls between June and July. Usually it's about 2 weeks. We renew the earth for all of you. This is our prayerful time. These are my uncle's teepees. These are our traditional shades. We build those every year. They shade from the sun, but not much else. Good wind comes through, you got red dust everywhere. You're having red dust pie, red dust soup. But it's a really important time, and I wanted to share this with you. These are our traditional dwellings. These are our traditional homes. We don't live in those anymore, contrary to popular elementary school belief. This was taken right here at Oregon State University in front of the NAL. And you can see the salmon on the top. So how many of you have been to a salmon bake? Okay, everybody who hasn't been, you gotta go. It is the best salmon you will ever have in your life. Not kidding, not exaggerating. I don't even order salmon in restaurants anymore. I'm like, no, they're gonna overcook it. They can't get it right. They're not indigenous. No. This is a photo. Recently, I took a trip to upstate New York. When I was a grad student here, my grandfather called me up. He said, granddaughter, do you want to go to Europe? I'm like, yeah, sure. He goes, do you have a passport? No. Get a passport. Okay. And I'm thinking, come on. No, you know, I'm not going to go to, who's going to pay for me to go to Europe? I can't afford it. I'm in grad school. A few weeks later, well, actually several weeks later, granddaughter, did you get your passport? Like, yeah. Good. We leave Monday. Wow. I know, right? And so I told all my friends, I'm going to go to Europe to find out why everyone left. What was wrong with Europe? And the first time that I went to the East Coast, in the back of my mind, I was like, why'd everybody leave the East Coast? It must be wall-to-wall buildings. You know, in my mind, I hadn't done my due diligence. This is upstate New York. How stunning is that? Why'd they have to come west? I don't know. Stay there, look at that lake. So this, as we come to close to Monday, what is Monday? Yes, it's Indigenous Peoples Day. I am very proud and honored and humbled that I was actually asked to speak to the group that was advocating for this change in Seattle. Former Senator Claudia Kaufman was unable to attend, and so the organizer came up to me and said, Renee, do you mind speaking to everybody? And then, you know, Claudia's not going to be able to make it. Can you speak to Seattle City Council on our behalf? Yeah, let me just have a couple days to prep. No problem. No, right now, you're on in 10 minutes. Yeah. So I got to go out and speak to this huge group of Native people. And I reminded them, what is Seattle named after? Chief Seattle. The Duwamish people, to this day, do not have federal recognition. Seattle sits on Duwamish land. So if there's one thing I'd like you to do, one thing to do that as a thank you for this event, for this whole event, call your senator and representative. Say, hey, I want the Duwamish to get federal recognition. Seattle wouldn't be there without them. Wouldn't be there. So I got to address City Council and speak to them on behalf of the organization. You can't really call it an organization. We just all came together and said, let's do this. Okay, so this gentleman was there, and I was like, I have to have your picture next to my friend Zona. She went around and had everyone sign this painting that she painted. She's a wonderful person. This is from the Cascade Mountains. I used to live there. I think I mentioned I was a photographer, among a couple other things. I'm your classic overachiever. This is our celebration after it got passed, which I got to MC, and I was like, oh, I'm never wearing that shirt again. That's so unfortunate. Why didn't someone tell me, Renee, vertical, not horizontal, don't do that. It's not a good look for you. But I got to MC it, and right here, we were chanting, we are still here. We are still here. The whole room. Pardon me, that might be opportunity calling. Hello, Stephanie. Hi, I'm in a presentation right now, and there's like maybe a couple hundred people in this room. Say hi to Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Love you. Bye. That's my daughter. So I always answer calls for my kids. I don't care where I'm at, right? Right? That's my daughter. That's my little girl. Of course, she's 26 now, and she's still my little girl. She has a foster child. Her and her husband now took in this foster child 2.5 years ago, meth affected. Fourth child to be taken from his parents. Fourth. There's a crisis in our country. We need to make a difference. What are we carrying? This is a photograph that was on the front of the Seattle Times. Oh, this is so great. The Steph just called. So this is Stephanie right here. And this is me. And luckily, the guys next to me were really tall because that's one heavy totem pole. That is the John T. Williams Memorial Pole. Anybody know who John T. Williams is? Anybody? Thank you. One person. John T. Williams. Yes, 3. John T. Williams, native carver, family of carvers, severe alcoholic living on the streets, walking across the crosswalk, carrying a legal-sized blade, carving blade. In one hand, a piece of wood in the other. You can look this up on YouTube. The video is on YouTube from the police car. Officer Ian Burke pulls over his car, yells at him, says, "Put down the blade, sir." John T. Williams was deaf. He shoots John in the back. John falls to the concrete. A white woman crossing the street says, "Why did you do that? He wasn't doing anything." And you can hear it on the video. Look it up. I challenge you. Look it up. This caused such an uproar in Seattle and Washington State. His brother, Rick, who's a friend of mine, chose peace. And people told him, why aren't you in the streets? Why aren't you getting people fired up? He's like, no, I'm not going to do that to my brother. I'm going to honor my brother. I'm going to carve this totem. People came down to the waterfront for months, worked on this totem. Huge. You can see how big it is. You can see how heavy it is. Look how many people it takes to carry it. We carried it from the waterfront all the way up to near the Space Needle. And the hill was pretty exciting, except for those 2 tall guys, one on either side of me, because I didn't even have to carry it, just like pretending. Like, yeah, oh wait, there's a camera. No. But I was so proud of my daughter, and some of my students are, at that time I taught at Northwest Indian College, some of my students are in that photo as well. And thousands of people there, thousands, from all walks of life, from all communities. Everyone was tired of this. Tired of Seattle Police Department running rampant over people. They would pull people over for jaywalking, and suddenly a young woman jaywalking gets punched in the face by an officer. Jaywalking. That's on YouTube too. I don't make this stuff up. I wish I did. This is one of my friends, Gene Tagaban, Tagaban. He's amazing. You should look him up too. He's at the celebration where we're saying Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, Indigenous Peoples Day. He performed there. Why is this important? That seems kind of random, doesn't it? This guy back here is going, yeah, that's kind of random, Renee. Like, what the? I won't finish your sentence. Why is food important? Anybody? Yes. Yeah, it's how we live. What is this GMO crap? You can't get any better than God has already created, right? He already made perfection. Each and every one of you is made just the way God wants you to be. You are perfection just as you are. Just as beautiful as you are. You're perfect. And what you need to remain perfect is healthy food. We say food sovereignty is sovereignty. Choose your activism. Choose to have healthy food. I know in Corvallis this is a big deal. Well, in Oregon, we're like, yeah, we don't want that GMO crap. You can quote me on that. This is Clifton Bruno. He's Wasco from Warm Springs Indian Reservation on the other side of Mount Hood. He's been a friend of mine for years. His wife and I went to high school together. We were talking about the water. When I was a little girl, I grew up by Mount Hood. I used to run up in the foothills. I used to run up to the top of this hill near our house. There was a creek there, and there was a little pond, little frog pond. We'd watch the tadpoles grow, and I'm like exceeding my limit for the microphone. Anyways, but there was a little stream there leading into that little pond. And I remember as a young girl just laying down like this, my face in the water and just sucking all that water in. It was ice cold. It was so tasty. Would I do that today? No. We're poisoning our water. We're poisoning our food. How are we going to survive as a species? How are children going to survive? One of my friends from high school used to pick a lot of berries when she was a kid. Her first son has a lot of problems. And she thinks it goes back to all those pesticides that were on all the berry fields. She said they would spray while they were picking. And they would breathe that in. What are we doing to our water? This is the Wenatchee River Salmon Festival. This is a little Indian village. And I MC there every year. So I wanted you to see different types of structures that people utilize. This is called the long tent, or the long teepee. It could hold up to 1,000 people. Could be up to 500 feet long. And traditionally, they used reeds. They would do reed mats and as a cover rather than canvas. This is one of my favorite photos that I took. Again, in the Cascades. How do we protect that? Or do we just go, it's too overwhelming, Renee, I can't do everything? If you don't do something, who will? If I don't ask you to do something, who will? This is a little creek on the Blackfeet Indian Reservation where I was recently. And I was looking at that water, and it was reminding me of that little stream when I was a little girl. And I so wanted to just drop my face down in that water and take a big drink. I really did. But I know that's not safe. This is my granddaughter. When she was born, she was blonde. I'm like, how'd that deal happen? I don't know how that happened. I just have no idea. My son has black hair. Her mom has black hair. My great-grandmother was German, so I think I'm blaming it on her. She's the love of my life. She's the reason I'm challenging you. She's the reason I'm here today. I'm asking you to make the world a better place. I'm asking you to protect her from what's happened to me. I'm the survivor of 2 attempted rapes. I grew up being molested several times by my stepdad's drunken friends. First time I was molested, I was 6 years old. First time somebody tried to rape me, I was in 3rd grade. 3rd grade. Why am I telling you that? Because I don't want anybody else to have those memories. I don't want anyone else to walk down the street, see a guy on the other side and go, I can't walk on that side of the street because there's a guy there. He might hurt me. I want to walk down the street and see you and go, hey, how are you? It's so nice to see you again. I'm so glad that you're a warrior for women. I'm so glad that you're protecting us. I'm so glad that you're my brother. I'm so glad that you're my friend. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you are advocating. I want you to follow me on Facebook so I can find out what you're doing. You can create one just for me. Facebook is a valuable tool. I get a lot of gigs from Facebook. I'm not kidding. Hey, Renee, can you come do this? Yeah, I can do that. We don't need any more stories like that. We don't need any more children to have fear. We don't need any more children to grow up in danger. We don't need children growing up eating food that's poisonous. We don't need you eating food that's poisonous. What's it doing to your lifespan? What's it doing to mine? Our people used to live to be well over 100 years old. Now, at Sacsayhuatl, the Sacsayhuatl Indian Reservation, you're considered an elder at 45 because their death rate is so high. 45. So I'm an elder plus. Yeah. That little face, that little tree hugger. Protect her. Make this world a better place for her. Make it a better place for you. I want you to be safe. I want you to be loved. I want kindness and generosity. I want to feel it. I want to know it. I want to look out on these faces and know you're going to make the world a better place. I can't do it alone. Robin can't do it alone. My buddy up here can't do it alone. Jennifer can't do it alone. When you have that conversation with somebody, passing conversation, you never know when you're going to change someone's life. You don't know. One time I was at a gas station. Oh, how am I doing for time, by the way?
About 3 minutes.
Okay, I'll talk really fast. I was at a gas station. I asked a guy how to get to the Upper Skagit Reservation. He goes, oh, just go down this road. He goes, what do you need to know? Where are you going? What do you do? I said, I work for Northwest Indian College, and I'm going up there to recruit students. He's like, oh, I thought about going to school. Like, you should do it. You should do it. Can I have a piece of paper right there? Just a piece, tear off piece. I said to him, I said, you know, if you had a lottery ticket and it was worth $1 million, what would you do with it? He's like, well, I would cash it in. I said, okay. Going to college, getting a four-year degree, that's like having a winning lottery ticket for $1 million. If you do not finish your career in college, your bachelor's degree, you're throwing that away. Stay in college. If you can manage to stay in and get your master's, do that. Do that. I waited 20 years. I lost 20 years of earning power. Dang it. I have a retirement plan of $15 a month. I'll be working till I'm like 105. I'll come back every year, please. So I would like to ask you to stand up if you believe in social justice. I would like you to stand up if you believe in eating healthy food. I would like you to stand up if you believe in taking care of the people around you. I would like you to stand up and raise your hands if you believe in equality. I would like you to stand up and I would like you to shout with me, we are still here.